Hello, trading is closed on September 13th, 2018. Yesterday we said the most likely occurrence was a gap outside of the range, but it didn't happen every time. We said the most likely way to gap would be to gap up, but it didn't have to happen every time. We said the clearest pattern would be if we gapped up, overtook these highs, we should then have a pattern with the early low, late high, has a tendency to rally into the close near the high. And if we don't close near the high and we don't break out to a high at the open of the next day, it leads to trouble. Well, that's still the call. We gapped up, couldn't close over any of these highs. Tomorrow's pattern has the early low. It doesn't preclude gapping up first. But if we don't gap up first and take this high out early, I think we're in trouble. We're in for a drop. Only question is how far. Well, early on, MEJT said ultimately higher prices would print. It said that price wouldn't stick. It would have to retrace. Said this drop would retrace. All that's happened, and we closed part of the MEJT resistance area. Well, let's make two assumptions. One assumption is that we gap up and promptly take out this high. We'll show why this is a resistance area in just a minute. But if we can take out this high, we've overcome resistance. That's assumption one. Assumption two is we don't take out this high, then we're going to drop. And it could be just more than a small drop. For starters, here was your ultimate sell signal. We usually get more than the minimum, which means for starters, I want to undercut 28.7568. But this is a good time to look at the long-term picture once again. Much as DeMark's stuff hasn't worked, we have an occurrence that happens every few years where the monthly, weekly, and the daily sell signals are all in alignment. This sell signal was never invalidated. There's 9 pars. Usually to get a 9.13.9 on the weekly, you want it within 3 weeks. This wasn't, but that's what usually happens. And here's the daily. We still have a 9.13.9 sell in alignment, and all we have to do to invalidate the signal is to go over this high in convincing style. That's all it takes. And all we have to do to say it'll probably work is to undercut this line, preferably on a closing basis. So let's look at how much resistance there is at this high and why this rally today stopped at a very inconvenient place for the bulls. Well, here's our monthly chart. Here's our long-term trend line. It stopped right there. Here's your Fibonacci target. All we have to do to show that this isn't going to hold is to break over these highs. That's all it takes. Now here's the wave count we had. Unlike everyone else in the world, I think this is a 3-wave structure. That's B. I was thinking that would hold, and it was a disappointment to me when this high was overtaken. Now you have to set your stop someplace, and that was my stop. But if my count's right, and I think it is, and that's an A, then that's a B, B has to stop someplace. It doesn't have to stop here, but if we get a big rally from this point, it makes the count, which looks funny to most people, look even funnier. Now this point here is a 1-by-1 Gann fan line from the wave 3 high. There's your wave 3 high. There's your 1 by 1. A lot of people are calling this 3 and this a triangle 4, and then they were looking for a fifth wave. Well, the way I count this, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This rally is a three-wave structure, if you ask me. And that means it isn't wave 5, it's wave B. Let's focus on the move from the all-time high. That's not the one I want. I think there are infinite ways in which this can be counted, but if that's the leading diagonal triangle for A, and that's your B, and that's your C, you just completed an ABC with C equal to A and a 78.6% retracement of blue A. So if we stop here, we're stopping at a logical place for wave blue C to begin. We also stopped right at a 1 by 1 Gann fan line from the all-time high. So we're stopping right at a fib target and the Gann fan line, and we're stopping at a normal retracement when this high had a lot of stuff going for it is holding. Tomorrow should be very interesting. This is resistance, and if we break over it, we go higher. But if we drop, I think this high might be it. We could have a drop in blue C comparable to blue A that I've been waiting for all year long. So if we start dropping in spades, I believe it, and if we go over this high early, we've overcome resistance once again, and that makes tomorrow's session extremely critical as far as the health of the bull, because I think there's a good chance that the leg ended right here, and all I need to convince me is to go down into the 2850s. And all I need to convince me I'm wrong is to overtake this high significantly. That's today's call.